motivational factors in everybody, okay? Don't you forget about all this other stuff that you're learning about, guys. I want to simplify. Know just the three motivating factors. One is justice, okay? Immortality, and the other one is father figure. You could use the acronym as JIF, J-I-F, okay? Now, justice, what is that? Okay? The personality trait of somebody who is justice, they tend to have sometimes, they complain sometimes. Okay? I'm not going to say they complain all the time, but they feel like certain things are, they're the ones that complain about, oh, this government is not working out properly, they're screwing us over, this company, look what happened to Enron, the society is going to hell, that kind of a stuff. They tend to complain about how the world is unfair sometimes, okay? All right? And I'm sure we've all met people like that, or maybe some of you are in here like that as well. I'm not sure, but this is nothing to pinpoint fingers at and such. All right, just to give you characters. All right. The other thing is immortality, and these kind of characters are they usually have control freaks. Coaches, people in head of organizations and stuff. Okay, they like to control things around them and people around them. Business owners, entrepreneurs. They like to shout and sometimes carry on, okay? Tantrums. These are certain traits, okay? And I'm just pointing out the most, let's just say, visible traits, guys, okay? I'm a control freak. I'm an immortality guy, all right? So I'm just pointing it out. So this is not, once again, to point out the negativities of an individual, but pointing out the clearest, simplest personality traits so that you can decipher which one are one of these people, okay? The other thing is the father figure. They're the ones who like to invest. They're usually more docile, and they want security in their life, okay? Their characters are the ones that will put money into the mutual funds that's very safe, or bonds, or money markets, and they'll have an increase of 2% after 20 years, that kind of stuff. Where there's other individuals like control or might go into, hey, here's a 20% chance of hitting it big, I'm gonna put all my money in there. So there's different personalities. Make sense? Okay? So what are the motivational factors? For the individual that wants justice, they want efficiency from the model. Okay, they want efficiency. From the people who want immortality, okay, they want to have control over their life. The father figure, they want safety. Okay, so keep that in mind. These are the three motivational factors. Do they want efficiency, control, or safety? Okay? And how you will know what their motivational factor is by listening and finding out what their characteristics are. Do you find them complaining about certain things? Okay? That they want efficiency. Do you find that these people are business owners, coaches, they're very demanding or what have you? Well, they're control freaks. They like to have control over their life. Okay? Father figure, etc. So what you want to do is, by now understanding what their three motivational factor is, you're going to eliminate 2/3 of your time. Okay? I don't know about you, but time is money, and I don't want to sit there for 3 hours and try to hit all these components. I want to sit there and spend least amount of time and sharing with them least amount of information and getting them to commit and move forward. It's like you got to catch the fish before you can clean it, kind of mentality. So we got to have that as well. All right. So now you know the motivational factors. Okay. So justice, they want to maximize efficiency, get efficient return on the money, and they invest. ROI, return on investment. How are they going to maximize? Get something for time that they put in, and they want to be treated fairly. These are some main components, guys. All right. So by understanding that, now how can you utilize the tool to give them that? Make sense? Right? They tend to dress neatly, efficient in all the things that they do. They're the ones who drive Priuses or economy cars and such. Okay. They want efficiency. They want 100 miles to a gallon, $4 a gallon car. That kind of mentality. Now, like I said, you're going to spend 2/3 less time by listening, by understanding what their motivational factor is, and that's what you're going to focus on. Why? if individual is about, is efficiency, and I go to you about, hey, by utilizing our system, you can save, and it's secure, and I keep on talking about how safe and secure it is, you're like, what the heck's going on? I want to know how I can have efficiency through this vehicle. Wrong communication. Remember, it's the communicating to the prospect. That's what you're doing, not communicating what you want or how you feel. If you're a control guy and you start talking to somebody who's in safety, you're doing it all wrong, because they're not going to be able to listen to you. All right? So now I go to somebody who wants control over their life, and I start talking to them about how this business could give you efficiency over your life, and blah, blah, blah. And this guy's thinking, hey, wait a minute, how can I have this vehicle to have more control over my life? Well, you can have more control by getting time, more business, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be able to focus and communicate in their language. And oftentimes, you may be saying the same thing, just in a different way. Just like when I asked you guys early on, have you communicated before, and you guys were like missing each other. But in the end, have you been in a situation where you realize, oh my gosh, we've been missing each other, but we've been saying the same thing? Have you guys been in that situation? Okay, so we don't want to miss people, guys. So remember, this is going to be more one-sided, okay? One-sided towards you, because you have the control to how to guide this communication and help them to understand what you want them to understand. All right? And so there's a process in that. So once again, when you're trying to take somebody from less to more, you're taking them from known to unknown. Now, what's going to happen? Do you guys remember anything that you tried, something that you weren't familiar with? What happens? Fear sets in. Whether it's sports, going to a new country, new school, new whatever it is, anything unknown, the fear factor comes in. And therefore, that is the emotion that when I asked about the question, that is the main emotion why one doesn't make a decision. Okay, is that fear. So, how do we combat that? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, in order for somebody, or your prospect, to be able to sign or give you a commitment, or or get them on board, what you have to do is a process, and the process goes from left brain, which is the analytical side. Remember that? Through the primitive brain, and then how you get to the primitive brain is sharing them some type of a loss. Okay? Now, what does that mean? A loss. You're not going to say, if you don't do this for your business, you're going to lose tons of business or sales, or you can't say that, because you'll drive them so deep into the primitive brain, they're not going to come out, and that means no sale. Okay? And ultimate goal is to get a sale, correct? Alright, so the primitive brain, what does it only know, guys? Speak. Two things. Fight or flight. Alright? So when they go into that primitive brain, then you need to elevate them to the right brain. And we'll talk a little bit more in detail how to do this. And the right brain is the area that understands the concept. It's a conceptual area. It's a creative area. It is the area that it has emotions. And it is the area that is the only place that you can have somebody commit or sign. Make sense? You will not get anybody to commit if they're in the primitive brain or in the left brain. They must be in the right brain, period. No exceptions. Okay? Many salespeople, how many times have you guys been in a situation, you're like going, you're great with information, and you're looks like you got some great rapport, right? And then they came out with some objections, and you were responding to that objections, and you thought it was going well, and then at the end, no sale. There was just a block, a barrier. Okay? This is what happens, I would say, about 80% of the time to people. And it's because of the fact that when they go into the primitive brain, remember, the individual, we call it a primitive or a lizard brain because it's an animal. All it knows is fight or flight. So in that mode, a human being is going to utilize words. Okay? And sometimes their objections seem angry or upset with you. Okay? And that's where a lot of people don't understand. You have them just where you need to have them. All you got to do is now elevate them. But from that component, people just didn't know what to do. Okay? So I'm bringing out examples because I know many of you have experienced this. All right? And so we want to go past these barriers. And once you get past this, guys, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill it. Okay? And with more practice and consistency, you're just going to master this skill, guys. Seriously.